See this gorgeous set of choppers? That's not a dog. That's a rat!
Okay, your dog probably isn't a rat, but if your dog is a rescue dog, there's a good chance it may not be the breed you think it is. Hello, and welcome to another video from the Little Red Dog. I'm your host, Lauren, here with my buddy Dallas.
Do rats really get that big?
No, definitely not. Do you know what you say when you meet a rat?
What?
Nice to meet you.
Ugh, for the love of dog.
Rodents aside, today we're here to talk to you about how a dog's breed can affect our perception and why you may not have the dog you think you do.
It's like the first question people ask me. Why do people care so much about what breed I am?
Well, some breeds have certain expectations about their behavior, like Border Collies being energetic or Labrador Retrievers being good family dogs. But according to a 2015 study from the National Animal Interest Alliance, only 5% of shelter dogs are purebred dogs. Most shelter dogs are a mixture of 2 or more breeds. And while some breeds may carry certain expectations, it's difficult to predict how different breeds will interact and influence a dog's behavior. So when people ask what breed a dog is, they're trying to gauge who the dog is and how it will behave in the future. It's much easier to ascertain a dog's breed than it is to spend time with it and assess its behavior as an individual. As humans, we like groups and patterns. We find comfort in these things. We're a little stuck in our ways.
Can you imagine if people judged each other based off how they looked? You get nothing done. That's hilarious. Ah, man, good thing that's not the case.
Anyways, Dallas here was living in a shelter for over a year, and I suspect this was due in part because he was labeled as a pit bull, specifically an American Staffordshire Terrier. But his DNA test revealed that he's actually more boxer than anything else.
I wasn't there because of my breed. I was there waiting until I found you.
Oh, buddy, I love you. High five. My dog was mislabeled at the shelter, and he wasn't the only one. Do you know how shelters determine the breed of dogs in their care? They guess.
What? No. What?
That's right. When a stray dog is found, its breed is determined entirely by its physical appearance. The reason for this is simple. Stray or abandoned animals don't come with any background information. Unless the dog is being surrendered by an owner, there's usually very little information about the dog's history. Unless you've had your rescue dog DNA tested, your dog's breed might not be what you think it is. And this is a big deal because we use this breed designation for insurance forms, veterinary records, dog licenses, and housing applications. Ever lied about your dog's breed on a rental application? Yeah, me either. It's nearly impossible to identify a dog by its appearance. Here, you try.
What's that breed? Chihuahua!
Brown.
Wait, so what's the answer?
I don't know, and that's the point. If we're accepting that dog into our care, we'd have to write something down. A 2015 study involving 4 Florida animal shelters found that animal shelter staff and veterinarians are frequently expected to guess the breed of dog based on appearance alone. Of 62 dogs that were visually identified as pit bull type by the staff, only 25 had DNA signatures from any of the pit bull type breeds. Ultimately, visual breed identification matched DNA breed signatures only 27% of the time. The researchers ultimately concluded that identifying dogs based solely on appearance is impossible, even for experts. Another study found that of 20 adopted dogs from 17 different agencies, only 16 dogs were categorized as having 1 or 2 breeds. Of those 16, only 4 were correctly identified by the adoption agency. That's a 25% success rate. Despite it being the norm, visual identification of any breed is unreliable, if not impossible. And whether we like it or not, the breed a dog is labeled with affects how we see that dog. Perception matters when it comes to breed, especially for shelter dogs. A 2018 analysis of shelter dogs at the San Diego Humane Society and the Arizona Animal Welfare League found that dogs labeled as pit bull type dogs waited on average twice as long to get adopted. Here too, breed was assigned primarily by visual identification. After assigning breed based on visual appearance, these dogs were then DNA tested. Results showed that 75% of dogs tested were not accurately represented. Ultimately, the team concluded that staff at both locations were consistently unable to correctly visually identify a dog's breed heritage. If breed affects our perception of a dog, and that breed is often just a guess, why do we continue to evaluate dogs that way? Earlier I mentioned that dogs labeled as pit bull type dogs waited longer to get adopted. One of the reasons for this is how we perceive pit bulls. Some people stereotype pit bull type dogs as more aggressive or inherently violent, but that's just not true. Would you believe that Chihuahuas rank higher in aggressive behavior than pit bulls? In a survey of more than 4,000 dog owners, Chihuahuas ranked first in aggressive behavior, while pit bull type dogs ranked among the least aggressive. And when it comes to disposition, Golden Retrievers and Pit Bulls are one in the same. That's right, a 2008 study found no significant difference in aggressive behavior when comparing a control group of Golden Retrievers to legislated breeds, such as Pit Bull type dogs. Despite the data showing Pit Bulls are not more dangerous than any other dog breed, we continue to hear from a vocal minority that they're dangerous. And this misunderstanding means some really wonderful companion dogs are sitting in shelters instead of thriving with an adopted family. It's sad to think some dogs won't be considered because of their breed. It's even worse to consider that those breed designations are simply incorrect. We've explained that guessing at a dog's breed based on visual appearance, the norm for shelters and other animal service organizations, often results in the dog being mislabeled. And that's exactly why some organizations are no longer advertising the breed of their shelter animals. Some organizations, such as Orange County Animal Services in Florida, no longer designate a breed for their available dogs. According to their website, this decision was made in part because applying a breed designation based on visual appearance is little more than a guessing game, and to avoid misconceptions associated with certain breeds. Following this decision, OCAS has reported an increase in the number of dogs adopted. It's also something the Little Red Dog is discussing internally. What do you think about removing breed designations for shelter dogs? Would you adopt a dog if its breed wasn't specified? Especially now knowing the label is just a guess? At this point, you're probably wondering to yourself, well, gee, Lauren, it sounds like mixed breed dogs are the problem. I'll just adopt one of the purebred dogs, which account for as little as 5% of the population. To which I would say, no, drop it. Please go back and rewatch the video. You missed the whole point. And we need the views. I'm gonna get fired soon if we don't get more views. Unfortunately, purebred dogs are not more predictable than mixed breed dogs. You're gonna make me get another study? I'll do it. I'll do it.
You humans and your data. What's data?
A 2006 analysis of the Swedish dog population found significant differences in behavior both within and between breeds. Furthermore, it was concluded that behavior could not be explained by heritage alone, but was influenced significantly by how the dog was raised and its environment. Hey, just like us. Look, you can't predict how the heritage of a mixed breed dog will affect its behavior. But you can't predict it for purebred dogs either. The point I'm trying to get across is that dogs are individuals. When you decide you're ready to adopt a dog, don't worry about the dog's breed. It's probably wrong anyways. Instead, focus on the dog's behavior and what you can accommodate. Every dog is different and should be evaluated as an individual, not by its breed designation. For example, if you're not very active and live in an apartment, rescuing a high-energy dog wouldn't be recommended. However, if you like to be outdoors and live in an active lifestyle, you could likely accommodate a more energetic dog. Consider your living situation. How often are you gone? Do you have kids or other pets at home? These are all questions that should shape your decision when rescuing a dog. There's no reason for breed to even come up. According to the ASPCA, more than 3.1 million dogs enter shelters across the United States each year. That's a lot of dogs. This year, that feels especially true. So many local shelters are full. If you live in Southern California and are interested in adopting a dog, please consider adopting from the Little Red Dog. To see our available animals, you can visit thelittlereddog.org. It costs us about $1,000 to save a single dog, and the only way we can do that is because of generous donors like you. Any amount is appreciated and has a direct impact on the animals we save. From all of us here at the Little Red Dog, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know in the comments section what you thought of the video, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.